With a show of hands, how many of you would want mandatory school uniforms? Okay, not too many of you. Well, close your eyes and picture this. Imagine being able to wake up every single morning, roll out of bed, put on the same thing you wore the day before, and head off to school. Not only would you be able to do such a thing, but all your friends were doing it too. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's becoming more common in our society as school uniforms have gone beyond private schools to public schools. Uniforms have a positive effect on students' self-esteem, attendance, and test scores. They have also been proven to decrease the rate of crime and violence in schools. First, I will tell you a little bit about how uniforms have a positive effect on students' self-esteem. During the teenage years, it is a time when they are able to try out different personas and often experience with different styles of clothing. Most students, even parents, will argue that school uniforms take away an individual's freedom of expression. However, the clothes that people wear or can afford to wear often define the group by which they are accepted into. As a result, many teens are outcast due to the fact that they cannot afford the top-of-the-line name brand clothing. This rejection can lead to several problems for the outcast teen. Issues such as depression, inability to concentrate on schoolwork, and bullying. School uniforms put everyone on the same level because no outfit is more stylish or expensive than another. An article titled Letters to the Next President 2.0 by Elite M stated, "Wearing uniforms enhance school pride, unity, and community spirit. Wearing school colors gives students a feeling of being more connected to their school and classmates." Wearing school uniforms can also help people gain more self-confidence because they know they are part of something bigger. They establish unity rather than conformity. Not only do uniforms prevent bullying, but uniforms are also much more cost-effective. According to a recent New York Times Post article, most parents responded that they spend $48 on pants for their children and that $30 was a reasonable price for a t-shirt. Using these figures, the average American family is encountering a figure approaching, and in some cases, surpassing $300 per child for back-to-school clothing. Whereas the cost of a year's worth of school uniforms, 1 year, which is 5 tops and 5 bottoms of school uniform or standardized dress code clothing, is $150. Now that we have discussed how school uniforms break down socioeconomic barriers, let's talk about how school uniforms increase the safety of students. In 1996, President Bill Clinton encouraged the use of school uniforms as part of an education program that he thought would improve safety and discipline. In a newspaper article titled "Clinton Will Advise Schools on Uniforms" by Allison Mitchell, it stated, "If all students are all wearing the same type of outfits, it becomes much easier to spot outsiders who may wander onto the campus." When students are required to wear school uniforms, it makes it easier for a teacher, admin, or etc. to spot out who does not belong in the school. For example, let's say it's passing period and Ever is in the hallways trying to get to the next class. Let's say someone who does not belong to that school, such as a gunman, walks into the school. It would be much easier for someone to spot out that individual because they are not wearing the same outfit as everyone else, whereas if uniforms were not put in place. Now that we have discussed how uniforms increase the safety of students, let's discuss how uniforms increase a student's attendance and test scores. A student's attendance and test scores go hand in hand. If a student is not attending school every day, they will become behind in their learning and may do poorly on exams and standardized testing, such as I-STEP or the SAT. Students who cannot afford the latest fashions often fake sicknesses rather than show up to school in clothing that they do not like. In a study done by Dara, she surveyed school administrators and examined proficiency test scores and rates of attendance, graduation, suspension, and expulsion between 1994 and 2002. At 64 high schools in Ohio's 8th largest school districts, 6 of which have uniform policies. During her study, Dara reported mean graduation rose nearly 11% at schools that require uniforms, compared to pre-uniform years. Non-uniform schools' mean graduation rates dropped to 4.6% compared with the earlier years. Dara also stated mean attendance rate at a uniform school increased an average of 3.5% in 4 schools and declined in 2. In conclusion, school uniforms are very important for all schools. I hope you have seen why I am so passionate about school uniforms becoming mandatory throughout the United States. Today, I have a more positive outlook on school uniforms and understand all the benefits that school uniforms impose. Thank you.